last week on Discount Heroes.
So you earned the right to compete in the Grand Coliseum here at the Graveyard, the Bone Pit. Should you come out victorious, you will earn yourself a special prize, a boon from King Boomstone himself. You'll be subjected to a series of fights, one-on-one.
In the Bone Pit, the rules are simple. There are no rules! Our first challenge, Merquink, the Invisible.
Introducing Booger Toot. I was hoping to just punch you in the nads, but I suppose you're gonna make this difficult. And you hear a single gunshot.
I'm gonna tape a grenade to his face.
That's your finishing move. You're cartwheeling away, and an explosion lights up the arena. Up next we have Reflecto, the Mirror Duelist.
Glove! Glove! And I go charging in.
You see as your reflection seems to strike out of the mirror around his neck, and you are struck right before your land would hit.
Well, this has worked for me before. And he goes charging at him. And as he swings, he doesn't hit him, he smacks himself.
With the first strike, the mirror shatters on his chest, and with the second strike, he falls to the ground.
Let his glory be reflected.
Glove! Glove!
Yeah, the fights aren't over yet.
Welcome to Discount
Welcome to Discount Heroes, where questionable results are always guaranteed. We're a chaotic character and story-driven real play podcast. We're a group of 5 friends who've known each other for 17 plus years. We've played countless hours of questionable D&D, and now we want to share with you the game we love so much. My name is Brent, I'm the DM. We got 4 players. Why don't you introduce yourselves and who you're playing?
Yo, this is Tyler. I'll be playing Copes, the Circle of the Stars Druid.
Back for another week of Sights and Sounds. This is Glub, and I'll be played by Aaron, the Tiefling Bard.
This is Jared, playing the part of Thrasher, the human barbarian.
Hey, and this is Matt, and I'm playing the part of Nox Longfoot, the Gnome Wizard.
And you're a rhino gnome wizard now. A rhino?
Yes, I am a
Yeah, don't forget.
half rhino, half gnome with a third arm. It's a real, just absolute horror show over here.
Rhino.
Damn it, you beat me, you fuck.
A rhino.
I smash words together around here. Fuck you guys. That's my thing.
Excellent. All right, I believe somebody has come prepared with a question this week.
I've got one.
Is that the question?
Yes, I believe that, question mark.
I answered it.
Pick me.
Oh, it's Aaron.
Oh, okay, I've got one. If you could delete one law and make one law, what would your answers be? U.S. only.
Good call.
I'll go first. No laws. Get rid of all of them. And the only law I will create is no laws.
Wow, what a dangerous world to live in.
Maybe. Get better friends. Gets less dangerous.
Gonna need one of those bunkers.
Ooh, maybe a compound
Yeah.
for you and your friends.
Okay, so my first law, I don't know if this, I'm not sure exactly where this falls under. I think if somebody's crossing the street and not an authorized cross zone or cross time, you should be able to run them over. Because you go try to drive through Atlanta around Georgia Tech campus, you can't get through there. Those fucking people just constantly.
I'll sign that one.
So whatever law says you're not allowed to run people over, that needs to be gone.
Vehicular manslaughter is legalized.
And then I want to add a law that people over 65 shouldn't be able to have driver's licenses because they drive too slow.
I'm gonna take away the no 12:30 beer sales on Sunday.
That's a good law.
Gone.
That's a good one.
Law to get rid of, yes.
And then
That's what I meant, by the way.
I have to make a law?
Yep, any law.
Gotta make a law. At 12:30, you can only buy claw.
If you leave your shopping cart in a parking space and don't put it back in the thing, it should be like death.
Straight to gulag.
Yeah, straight to gulag. You gotta fight like 3 bears every time you do it.
Oh, those are good laws.
I like that.
A good trick for that, if you see somebody, like, just leave theirs and then start getting in their car, just be like, oh, is that yours? Can I take that? And when they say yes, you put it directly behind their car and walk off.
That's great.
That is good.
What? Because they're going to get out, and what the fuck are they supposed to say or do?
Like, you jackass, I was going to put it away until you offered to take it. That's what I would say.
Jared's finding like 80-year-old women who are trying to put it back and be like, let me help you, ma'am. You bitch.
And then he's coming in them.
You got to wait for them to walk off and start getting in their car, because otherwise you don't know what car to put it
The
behind.
person gets out on 2 crutches.
Yeah, well, fuck them.
He's got 3 crutches because it's so bad.
Yeah.
Well, that would be if, it was Nox.
That's true. I would go for a real monkey's paw law. Like, I'm going to outlaw all war. All war.
Even Last War?
Even Last War, the mobile video game.
Gone.
We knew it was coming.
Can we play the game Battleship?
Battleship is fine. There's no war in that. It's battleships.
But then are countries allowed to do Battleship and just call it that?
Damn, that's a great loophole then.
Monkey's paw.
Yeah, I guess, yeah, as long as they don't call it, it's monkey's paw, as long as they don't call it war. Maybe if they say, like, just kidding as they do each launch.
We declare battleship.
No more Star Wars, no more storage wars.
Oh, no.
Thank God.
Yep.
It's okay. Star Trek's better.
I like this law. I'm for this law.
What happens to Nick Swartzen?
That's, yeah, it's an unfortunate one, yeah, but he's gone. Outlawed. And what law would I delete? I'm going to think about it if somebody else has something.
All right, for the law I would make, counterfeiting is perfectly legal if you can trick the other person.
That sounds
Like-
fair.
Says the man wearing the $7 Louis Vuitton sunglasses.
I like that.
That's it. So if it's good enough to pass off, if you can fool the other person, I think it's legit enough is what we'll call it. That's the name of the law. And a law to get rid of, a law to make. If I'm driving and I'm behind you, everybody has to get over. A special siren. It's a green siren. And only I can issue them. And you all get one.
Thank you.
For sure. I'm benevolent. And
You have my vote.
Anybody listening to this podcast?
correct. My lieges.
Ooh, if you were going to make me actually pick one single law to get rid of, I'm going to say speed limits. Because there's literally never been a time that I've been driving or riding and looked down at my speedometer and gone, ooh, no, this is not safe. I should slow down. It's always, oh, man, I'm going to get pulled over.
Yeah, but it's not for you. It's for the 85% of people that already don't know how to drive a car.
Yeah, let them go. You think they're obeying the speed limit?
No.
Probably not.
Not here in Atlanta, anyway.
I would get rid of that law that I'm allowed to sleep in my car with the AC on when I'm drunk.
Wait, you don't want to be allowed to do that, or you're not allowed to do
I
that?
want to be allowed to do that.
Oh, yeah, because if your key's in the ignition, they'll fucking pop you. Right?
Yeah, even if you're asleep in the back seat, like you were driving.
Yeah, that's the stupidest bullshit.
Even if you're not in the front seat?
Oh, if it's on and you're drunk.
Key's in the ignition.
One time we were in Florida and Aaron was snoring so fucking loud and I could not sleep. And I went and got in the car and started it. The AC was blasting. I laid down in the back seat and then I was like, oh my God, I'm going to fucking go to jail. So I had to go sleep on the beach.
The segment was over, Tyler.
That sounds like a story of you getting drunk and sleeping on the beach.
Appreciate the extra question, the extra answers. Brent, start the game.
One time we were in a hotel room and Aaron was snoring so fucking loud, I slept in the shower.
One time I was over at Aaron's house and he was super thrilled about the song called Dirty Deeds done by Thunder Chief.
Love that one.
So let's go ahead and begin the game.
One time I was sleeping over at Aaron's and he fucking smacked me and woke me up. He's like, dude, you were fucking snoring so loud. Could you please go to another room? So I did.
I can dish it out, but I can't take it.
One time I was sleeping in the same room as Jared and I legitimately thought he died because of the sound he made while he was sleeping. But then like 8 seconds later, he started snoring again. So it was fine.
One time I was sleeping in a bed with Jared and he woke up to me pissing in his laptop bag. In Matt's house.
Bachelor parties, am I right?
That was last week, Jared.
Yeah, but it also happened at the bachelor party.
Yeah, so things can happen more than once.
Of course.
Ben spent the night last night and I got really drunk and apparently I woke him up in the middle of the night to tell him about my dreams I had that were so crazy. But I would never actually tell him what happened. He said I would just go, man. And just... So what happened? And I just never told him.
Kind of sounds like you fucked a dude.
Maybe so.
Even drunk, you was like, oh, I shouldn't say it out loud. But it was crazy.
Last week, our intrepid
One time
heroes.
I'm just kidding.
So one time I was, just start the game.
Last week,
One time I was an intrepid adventurer.
and you learned what fresh hell you had walked into. Apparently, they were impersonating gladiators in an arena trying to earn Boomstone's boon. They had to overcome a series of challenges, but each one had to be taken on completely alone by one of them. Copes fought the invisible goblin Merkwink, who resisted the Lantern of Revealing's power somehow. But he managed to use his sharp senses to locate the creature, cover him in insects, sand, and mud, eventually bringing him down with a grenade taped to his chest.
His face.
Next, Thrasher fought Reflecto, a mysterious goblin with the power to reflect his attacker's own strikes back at them. But Thrasher yet again solved this puzzle by attacking his own self, shattering the mirrors and bringing Reflecto to his knees. Our heroes had overcome 2 challenges, and seemingly 2 more remain. What will our heroes face next? Within the crowd, let's resume with the crowd sounds or whatever. Do you have that, Matt? Do you have it set up properly?
Yeah, hold on, let me push the button. Guys, make noises!
I love it! Yeah, that's really good! Great
Please don't have my children!
Kill him!
Weezo and Booger Toot! Alright, they're cheering for our triumphant heroes. Now...
Get ready, Bone Pit fans, because this next showdown's got all the makings of a legend. It's speed versus strength, cunning versus chaos. Let's see who's walking away in one piece. This challenge is, you'll be fighting against the Whispering Wraith, a creature straight out of hell. Is it a goblin? Is it a man? Is it an ancient spirit from the depths? Nobody knows, but it's on one of these challengers to defeat it.
The gates rise again. A creature that looks simply like a hooded cloak floating through the air wafts into the arena.
Alright, it's me or you, Nox. What are you thinking?
I don't know. What do you want? You want this one?
Not really.
Okay, I'll take him.
Alright, good luck.
It's all mine. I go sprinting out. Wart snout! Wart snout! I try to start a slow chant.
Wart snout. Wart snout. I'm the one guy in the crowd who loves it. Wart snout. Come on, guys. Wart snout. I sit back down ashamed.
And I'll charge out and I'm gonna run out and sprint and do a big 4-inch vertical jump and then hit a thunder wave as I land just to, kick up some dust and send off a loud boom out. Some theatrics.
Do a performance check.
Okay.
The confidence with which you said big 4-inch vert, really, I enjoyed that.
8. It's an 8. It's an 8 performance.
All right, what happens then?
I think I trip. So I still cast a thunder wave, but it says I fall face first into the ground.
And then it thunder waves.
And then like 3 seconds after.
And give it up for Wartsnout the Wobble Smasher. People cheer kind of confusedly.
Wobble smasher, wobble smasher, wobble smasher, wobble smasher.
I start doing the wobble smasher, which everybody knows. Of course, the dance, the wobble smasher.
Is the worm face?
Get in there.
No, it's more like the wobble and the worm mixed together.
Ooh.
You do the wobble, but you do it while on the floor, which is where I am after I fell. So, trying to sell it.
It looks a lot like me doing the worm at your wedding.
Wartsnout has a wart so bad that it's formed into a sharpened horn on his face. Look upon it.
Oh.
It had said that this brawler once punched every cactus in a mile-wide patch just to show he could, and survived.
I start punching with 3 hands.
Yeah. Known for his special technique, the wobble wallop a swing so wild even he doesn't know where it'll hit. Watch out, folks, Wartsnout's here to smash, crash, and make a mess. And without further ado, fight!
The Whispering Wraith drifts lazily towards you.
All right. Do I need to roll initiative?
Yeah.
Well, it's a 19.
19, dang. All right, you win. You go first.
Okay. I'm going to close the distance a bit and pull out my Staff of Power. I figure since I'm the Smasher, I shouldn't use a sharp object.
Stop calling it your Staff of Power. It's weird.
I'm going to smash him with my Staff of Power. I'm going to go ahead and just kind of start charging up his way. I'm going to activate a Blade Song, so kind of start whipping it around and spinning. Try to be quick and nimble. And if I can reach him, I'll try to throw a couple strikes out at him.
Okay, yeah, you can.
14 and a dirty 20.
20 hits.
Okay, and I will throw a Booming Blade on that.
Ooh, okay.
God! Only a 1 on the damage roll, so it's only 8 damage plus 7 force damage.
With a nice thud, you connect with the creature, and a thunderous power rings out. The creature shrieks in agony. You see all the goblins nearby cover their ears as they experience a sharp pain. You have to make a Constitution saving throw.
Yikes. I'm bad at those.
Got it.
Ooh, 23.
Nice.
All right, you only take half of 26 damage. You take 13. This would be thunder damage.
Alrighty. And I cover my ears with my extra hands.
The creature does not seem to react to your blow aside from to drift lazily towards you, reaching out its bony clawed fingers.
No, don't touch me.
As it gets close to you, it shrieks wildly, filling your ears with a sonorous burst of thunder. And you get to make another Constitution saving throw. You do have advantage because you're covering your ears.
23 again.
Nice.
If you didn't have an extra free hand, then you would not have been able to do it.
Love that.
All right, you take the exact same amount of damage, 13.
God, Jesus, this is bad. Okay, all right.
Hey, I was the last fight, so could I probably still be raging for this round?
It is, but you don't know what's gonna happen if you do something. Maybe.
Yeah, but I can.
But yes, you could.
We're good. We're good.
All right. Yeah, I probably shouldn't risk it.
You already risked it once, and it worked, but
Didn't get a biscuit.
did not get a biscuit. That's for sure. Exactly.
All right, it's your turn, Nox.
Okay, so I want to try something here. They said it was from hell, right? This creature was some sort of hell creature.
That's what they said.
Back in episode 20, I got some cold steel daggers that Mucinex the Imp hated because he was from hell.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm going to try to pull one of those out and stab it into him or put it into him because I know when I touched Muse and Exit affected.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I want to try that. Do I just roll like an attack roll with it?
Yeah.
Okay. I don't think I have proficiency.
With daggers?
Or it's a dart. But I have proficiency with daggers.
If it's a simple weapon, then you have proficiency.
Okay. 16 plus 9, so 25.
That's a hit. That's a hit for sure. Can't you do two things also? Or do you want to just go ahead and do this first one?
I can hit twice. I wanted to see if that had an effect. Otherwise, I'll hit with my staff. But I'll swing once with my staff. Actually, hold on, because there's an effect. I want to stack this right. So I'm gonna hit him with that, with the booming blade on that, which I believe I can do.
Okay.
It's just when you hit with the melee weapon attack.
Yeah.
And then I am going to use the skill in I got the spell book, the Fulminating Treatise, which we found a little while ago. But when a creature takes damage from an evocation spell I cast, I can expend a charge to do an extra 2d6 force and knock the creature prone. So because Booming Blade is a evocation, I'm going to try to just stack all that on top of it.
Okay.
So the dagger does 4 plus 5, so 9.
Okay.
And then it's 6 force damage from the booming blade, and then another 5 force damage from the treatise, and then he's knocked prone.
So the cold dagger cuts neatly into the creature's form. You see that it attempts to shriek outward, but it is cut off as the blade slices through it. And he is vulnerable to all the damage you deal with that attack. So it does 50% more.
Oh, okay, nice. Now that he's prone, I'll just try to drive it into him again. But that'll have advantage, right?
Yes, because he's prone.
That's a nat 20.
Damn, all right.
So, and just I'll use in the dagger again, so that's only another 10 damage.
Okay. And so take all of that and then add it together and add 50%.
Okay, so 30 damage total plus 15, so it would be 45.
Nice.
Stupid hell beast!
Once again, you're out barbarianing me.
All right, what do? You can give it a more thorough description if you want. You've destroyed this thing.
Just going like a true angry squirrel monster here. As it falls on the ground, I'm just kind of crawling around on all 5 limbs, dagger in one hand, just back and forth, just stabbing into it as quickly as possible.
All right, you hear the ripping of ethereal threads as this creature attempts to cry out, though the cold blade seems to stop it.
Nice. Been wanting to use that for 100 episodes.
Nice.
The creature with only the barest whine dissipates, and the fibers that made up its being drift in through the wind.
And then I throw a fireball up in the air.
All right, that's awesome. The crowd goes insane.
And the Whispering Wraith is defeated.
Are you not entertained?
Gloom, stop. What's his name?
Wart Snell.
Ward, snap.
What a stunning upset. Who would have expected that these challengers would be so competent? What a show!
And you see as the crowd is chanting, they suddenly grow quiet. They're all looking over at the raised dais, where you see a large goblin figure walking up and taking a seat in the bone throne.
Right in the bone throne?
Right in the bone throne. He looks down upon the 4 of you with vague interest. Everyone seems to be unsettled a little bit by this. All the goblins.
I raise a fist in the air towards him. Not in a menacing way, in like a...
Hell yeah kind of way.
Yeah. Okay.
And it seems King Boomstone's interest has been drawn. Well, they better continue putting on a great show. And now we only have one challenge left before they face the champion. A mighty beast that has never been seen before in this arena. Will we get to see the greatest show this Coliseum's ever seen?
Cartwheel.
Fucking cartwheel, man.
There's going to be another challenge. I'm going to start casting healing spells on me.
Yeah, you guys can do whatever. You can do anything to yourselves safely while this.
I jack off.
Yeah, it's safe.
I am going to shift into my archer form.
It's completely
I slap him and I say, "You're not Squeezo."
completely safe.
Right.
Yes.
I mean, I assume his fight's not going to be longer than a minute or two. So,
Ladies and gents, the sands are set, and the stakes are high. This next fight will be raw, relentless, and ruthless, just the way the Bone Pit likes it. Our challengers only have one remaining party member. So go ahead and step forward and find out who your challenge is.
I come out first this time?
Yeah, since you're the one remaining.
Oh, dang it. Okay. So I raise my arms and I step into the crowd like expecting like a huge boom. And I walk out to the center. I want to point my hand over to where I came from and I want to call my two guys forward for a moment that are under my spell.
All right. Oh, the two other guys?
Yeah.
The two goblins?
Yeah.
Oh, I guess, yeah. Okay. They were on. Yeah. They come out.
And I set down a figurine in the middle of the floor and like big in a suspenseful way.
Okay.
And I pull out from my pocket the pipe of smoke monsters. And I take a big bellow and blow in front of it a cloud of a giant, terrible goat. And as the smoke starts to dissipate, there stands a giant goat of terror.
Nice.
Whoa. All right.
And I point to my two companions and tell one of them to kneel. And as he does, I step on his back and I step on the head of the other as I climb atop my terrible, terrible goat.
All right. Make a performance roll with advantage.
Okay. And I will be making a lap around the edges of the Colosseum to receive
All right.
adoration from all. It does spread fear among the crowd in a 30-foot radius, but
Yeah, that's going to have a dramatic effect, I think.
performance with advantage. I rolled a 31, nat 20.
Oh my
Whoa.
god.
Oh.
So you charge around the arena, kicking up a dramatic cloud of dust as the goblins spectating the sport cringe backward in fear of the mighty goat on which you sit atop. Although there's fear in their eyes, you also see intense admiration. They cheer wildly for you.
And what a show! It certainly seems like Boomstone has taken notice.
You see his eyes glinting with amusement as he looks upon you.
I give him a knowing nod, like, about to be a good one.
And which challenge will Grubglub the Pony Puncher take on?
Perfect.
Don't let Grubglub's size fool you.
He looks at you closely.
He seems pretty big to me. This little scrapper's taken down more fighters twice his size than I can count. He once ate his own weight in mud just to prove a point. And apparently still holds the Boneyard record for the loudest burp in all the lands.
As he says that about me, I start throwing up mud as I'm traveling around the audience.
Oh, the crowd loves it.
I have eaten my bouncing butter, by the way.
You have eaten the bouncing butter, okay?
Yes.
The challenge that Grubglub will face. He's known as Shade Jester, the Fading Trickster.
And you see the gates open and an oddly garbed goblin walks out. He's covered in bright colors and bells adorning each piece of his clothing. Make a perception check, Demarok.
Perception, I roll a 9.
There's nothing weird about him.
You sent an ordinary goblin to fight me? Grubglub? The gigantic? I tell everyone I'm small to throw them off. And none of my enemies survive, so my reputation precedes me.
Though he seems like an ordinary goblin wearing normal clothes, he is much more. And now fight!
All right, so you're on goat back.
Yeah, he needs to roll to see if he's afraid or not. It's a wisdom save with a DC 15.
Okay. This is before initiatives rolled, okay. 15 wisdom. So he's not afraid. He's not afraid. But you can use the goat's movement and essentially add it to your own movement on a turn. So you can move very quickly. All right, make an initiative roll, unless you're going to just charge at each other and then something's going to happen.
Oh, we charge. If that's an option.
All right. Yeah. The fading trickster starts running at you.
I whip on my goat in the back and it picks up speed, heading directly towards his target.
Yeah, a dramatic dust cloud follows you. Those of you who are spectating this notice something odd about the fading trickster. He seems to leave behind brief after images of himself as he walks and runs. And let's have you both do something at the same time, let's say. What are you going to do?
I'm going to cast Mislead, and it creates an illusory double of myself. I become invisible, hopping off of the goat. The one version of me cannot see or hear, so I'm leaving the visible version of me deaf and blind, and to be led by the goat as I become invisible.
Nice.
Ah, interesting. Okay. This is kind of perfect. And as the fading trickster launches at you, he makes some strange hand gestures, magic forms in his hands, and he splits into a dozen versions of himself, all charging at you. That would have been funny. He should have just done mislead too. It would have been a stalemate.
Yeah. Two deaf and blind people.
Just two motionless, blind, and deaf people.
These two Helen Kellers.
Two illusionary versions enter. Two illusionary versions leave because they can't do anything.
Can I react to him multiplying?
Yeah.
As I see this happening, my brain is whirling, trying to figure out what to do. As I'm rubbing my hands, I feel a ring of air elemental on my finger. And I remember that I'm able to cast Chain Lightning.
Ooh.
So with my invisible hand, I raise it up to the nearest double of myself, cast Chain Lightning.
We should just do that in initiative then. Sorry, I misunderstood what you were asking for.
All right, so now roll initiative.
Yeah, let's just go ahead and roll. He got a 14. Or 16, sorry. 16 total.
I never roll good. 12. Can I cast a bonus action while rolling initiative?
If it's something that you get to do while rolling initiative, yeah.
I don't know. It's a bonus action.
I don't think so, unless it's something that you want to move your initiative. I know that. That's
I
what you're
do.
going for.
Yeah. It's okay if not. That seems plausible. It's not my turn.
All right, lightning charges up in your fingertips, let's just say, as the multitude of fading tricksters sets upon the goat. How hard is it to hit the goat?
Really hard.
Let me see if I have that information. I wrote a lot about it.
Let me see. It's a goat of terror. Yeah, it looks like it's in my recent search. Giant goat. It's got the same stats as a riding horse, so it's pretty easy to hit. Oh wait, no, that's a different goat. It's a giant goat. It's a little bit tougher, but still pretty easy to hit.
Totally different.
Totally different goat. All right, you see the 12 images of the fading trickster begin weaving the magics of a spell. And an even larger goat appears. It rushes at the two of you, quote unquote, passes right through the goat of terror and your illusory double. The goat of terror cries out in fear and shrinks back down into the size of a figurine. And your illusory self is popped down onto the ground.
From nowhere you hear, fuck.
Your illusory self is surrounded by fading tricksters.
Okay, so I get to control him. He's just gonna stand up and do nothing because he's got no plans. As I reach out to the closest one to me while invisible, grab its wrist and cast Chain Lightning.
Okay. It sounds like you're pretty close then.
I gotta imagine I'd be close to 1 of 12.
Are you just using the sight of your mislead to sight your attack?
No, I can see. The invisible Dimmerock.
Oh, it's one or the other. It's one or the other.
It's
right?
one or the other, correct.
Okay, gotcha. Nice. All right. Chain lightning. It's a great spell. It's just in a straight line, right? Is it 5 feet wide, the line?
I think it jumps from target to target.
Yeah. You create a bolt of lightning and arcs towards your target you choose. 3 bolts then leap from that target to as many as 3 other targets, each of which must be within 30 feet of the first target. A target must make a dexterity saving throw. The target takes 10d8 lightning damage on a failed save.
Damn. Okay. And it looks like it leaps regardless of whether it hits, whether they pass the save or not. All right. So roll 4d12s. On a 12, you hit the true target. And then it will go down with each roll. One at a time.
Oh, too late. But I did have a 12 in there.
So you did have a 12 in there. All right.
Nice.
So basically each miss destroys 1, and then it makes it so you would have only needed an 11 and then a 10. All right. But yeah, on the 12, your lightning bolt strikes true. All right. He has to make a dexterity save. He only has a +2 to this. Gets a 14 total.
Not enough. Needs 17. And then 10d8 damage. Alright, so he takes 25 damage plus an additional 21 damage. 46 damage to the actual guy.
Oof. Oh, glad you killed that air elemental.
Damn. As the lightning bolt strikes true, all of the illusions cry out in pain as they are electrified simultaneously. You see their images briefly become transparent, illuminating the true one for a moment.
In that moment, I want to cancel my mislead spell.
Mm-hmm.
And the blind and deaf one disappears as I appear, raising my hands victoriously and say, "Who's the trickster now?" And I raise my hands as the crowd applauds.
Woo! He tricked the trickster!
Their muscles twitching, they rise together slowly onto their feet. And he holds out a hand and starts miming some magical gestures. And your greatest fear appears for a brief moment as he casts Phantasmal Killer upon you. This is a spell you know.
My hands! My hands! Where are my hands? They've gone! I'll never be able to drum!
You make a wisdom saving throw.
6.
Oh no.
I guess, you see the image of yourself without hands. You're frightened.
As much as I want to put on a good show, I'm now running around frantic.
Screaming about your hands.
Yeah, I'm looking for them. They're nowhere. They've gone.
All right, there are 2 of the illusions have disappeared. I guess 3 of them, since your lightning would have arced one more time. So there are 9 total right now.
All right, I drop my bag of holding on the ground, and I get down on my knees, and with my head, I plunge it into there, and I start picking stuff up with my teeth and pulling it out of the bag, trying to find something to help me.
You feel a hand graze your arm.
My face.
Your face.
I've got no hands. I'm using my mouth.
Oh, I get it. Yeah, it grazes your face, grasps your cheek for a moment.
Hey, psst, I could really use some help right now. If you were useful in any way, who are you? Hey, anybody in there?
Oh man, do I want to do this now?
You definitely don't have to.
Do you, Brent?
Do I want to do this now? Ugh.
Do you?
All right. You feel a hand reaching from the darkness grasp upon your face, its fingernails digging in as it attempts to pull you within. So from everyone else's perspective, you see Demrock put his face in the bag, and now it looks like he's trying not to fall into it. It looks like it's stuck on his head.
Guys, this is a weird strategy.
Yeah, I don't know what he's thinking.
I use my winged boots to to fly backwards out of the bag. Nope, not going in there.
All right, make a dexterity check to free yourself, or a dexterity save. It's fine.
16.
16? Okay, that frees you. The grasp lets go. You feel a little bit of claw marks across your face, though, as the nails dig in.
But what was it?
I come out bleeding. It makes me look even cooler. I bend down to my waist, and with my teeth, I grab the bag of dryness powder
Okay.
off my belt. And I run towards the trickery guy. And as I get close to him, I whip my head across him, trying to open the bag and release it into his face.
Okay, sadly, you are frightened right now. You cannot willingly approach.
I keep trying to run towards him, and every time I do, I fly further away. Is there a radius on that?
No, but you're going to make another save at the end of your turn.
So I can't fly into the air above him.
You can move in any direction away.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
Dude, just face away from him and back up.
That's not how it works, but yeah.
Okay. I fly away. As I'm flying away, I end up over one of the audience members, and I, using my math, hit somebody in the audience with Ego Whip.
Okay.
And it just fills one of their minds with despair, and they start going nuts.
Okay. That probably just hits him, I'll say. If it's an audience member who's not expecting it.
If my goat won't be terrifying, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, you whip out your Ego Whip and lash at the goblin in the crowd, who cries out in fear, causing the other goblins to scatter. The ones that are not nearby are cheering because this is awesome.
Hell yeah.
All right, now make new saving throw against Phantasmal Killer.
13.
13. That does not succeed. You take 23 psychic damage.
Oh!
Oof.
And you're still frightened.
This guy's pretty scary. Don't you think, everybody? I'm trying to hype the crowd up. Like, yeah.
You're still thinking of the crowd here.
Yeah.
He is a performer.
All right, as you're flying around frightened, you see the 9 remaining illusions plus 1 real one hold up their hands, and they attempt to fire at you with scorching rays. It's impossible to tell which one's the real one as they dance around you wildly. So he's going to make 4 attack rolls with it. So that is a 15, a 13, 26, and 21.
15 ties.
As you're blasted with rays of fire. All right, you take 19 fire damage as you're struck with scorching rays.
Oof.
It looks awesome, probably, because you're flying around and a bunch of lasers are shooting at you. As you've got a guy by the Ego Whip. Let's say you're dragging him around by the Ego Whip.
Yeah, for sure. He's just like expressing all his internal concerns.
Yeah.
I don't think I'll ever make enough money.
All right, it's your turn.
Okay, so this sphere that I'm under, what happens if I fly towards one of the... Are they all emanating this sphere towards me?
They're all pretty much grouped together, so if you're moving towards the real one at all, you'll be prevented.
Okay, fine. From 150 feet away or less, I will cast Chain Lightning again.
Damn, you can do it more than once?
Yep. It costs 3 charges to cast Chain Lightning. I don't know how many charges it starts with, actually.
It starts with 5.
Okay, so I cannot. Alright, I just turn and fire my Ring of Ram. I bend down, and with my nose, I hit my belly button Ring of Ram and fire off all 3 charges towards this group of people.
You only have 2. You used 1 recently to break through the elevator door pit.
Okay, fair. I fired 2 charges.
All right, so make an attack roll.
Plus 7 to hit.
As a spectral ram is summoned.
It's a 2 plus 9. 2 plus 7. It's a 9 total.
9 total. Roll the d12. Just to see if you take out one of the illusions.
A 2.
A 2. One of the illusions is removed. You now only need an 8 or better to hit the true target, but the ram blasts through, destroying them.
Okay, wisdom saving throw.
Wisdom saving throw. Hope you succeed.
17.
Success!
Woo!
Nice.
Your hands reappear.
Oh, they're back. Oh, my beautiful fingies.
As they light you up with scorching rays again. 15, higher than that, lower than 15, and let me just say 15, 26, 11, and 23.
I have 15 AC, so 2 or 3 hits.
All right, that's a great roll for you. You rolled very poorly. You take 13 fire damage. He's looking smug.
Yeah, I turned to him with a grimace on my face, so I know he's about to fucking get it. And on my winged boots, I fly toward him at full speed with my chain sword in my hand, whipping it all around my body in like a figure 8 shape. I just fly directly towards... Oh, I don't know which the real one is.
You can make a perception check or an investigation check to determine which one is the real one.
Perception, I roll 19.
19. Let's see how well he does. He failed his stealth check. All right. You detect a faint odor from one of them that is not emanated by the others. The odor of sweat and fear.
I can smell fear anywhere. And as I see him, I've got this chainsaw in my hand, flying boots, and I'm just flying directly towards him, ready to slice him up.
All right. You can make an attack roll with advantage.
5 and a 4.
Ooh.
Those will miss, probably whatever I add to it.
Yeah, unless you got something to do something else, like an inspiration or something, like a game inspiration, not bardic.
I do have my inspiration click, saying I have one. I think I did get one from a
game before. I think it was, yes. So yeah, that's fine. You can use it to get one more roll.
7
Wow.
plus
So what's the total there at least?
Golly.
plus 5, 12.
12? What did I make? His AC is 12. I only gave him like cloth armor because of this.
Nice. So I hit 2d6 plus 1. So it was 7 damage.
7 damage. All right. He stumbles backward in surprise. He looks very injured before an illusion covers up his injuries, and he runs and mixes himself up with the group of them again.
No, I wanted to mark him.
If you have something that'll let you do that, then you can.
I mean, nothing canonically, no. I don't think so. Oh. No.
Got some of that glue left.
Oh, that's what I should have done.
Interesting idea. All right, you're now amongst them, and all their hands glow as they attempt to fire at you. They do have disadvantage since they're in close range, though. Well, that's good that one of those is reduced to not a crit. So we got a 24, a 17, a 16, and a 9. I think that's still 3 hits.
3 hits.
Wow, lucky damage roll again. That's 11 fire damage.
All right. I roll another perception to identify him again. 24.
Ooh, all right.
Ooh.
Nice.
You've picked him out. The smell of fear is even greater this time.
I told you you can't hide from me. And I point to him to let him know that I know. And I want to fly directly to him, try to grasp his hands, apply my sovereign glue onto them, and stick them directly down to the dirty earth beneath us.
Okay.
Or to the stone column in the center.
All right. Make a dexterity check to apply the glue without accidentally sticking yourself.
Oh no.
Oh.
22.
22. You avoid sticking his face to your hand.
Nice.
Thank God.
I mean, that would have been effective too, but
It would have been effective. It would have been effective too.
Also would have worked.
All right. You stick him to the floor.
Can I take another action then? And it's a bonus action to glue somebody, right?
I don't know if it's a bonus action to glue somebody. Let's see.
Yeah, check that in the rule book, the D&D 5e.
Yeah, I'm not going to read this because it's already discounting the way you've used it so far, and that's no fun. I'm ditching that.
Yeah, I know.
Rule of cool. Rule of cool.
What do you think, everyone?
Rule of cool.
I'm about it.
All right, I've had an idea for a little while where I'll bend the rules a little bit, but in the return, I will bend the rules a little bit against you at some point in the future.
I'll take that first.
Yeah, as long as it's against him and not me. Go ahead.
Yep, it'll be specific. Like, you may be rolling a death saving throw, and I may say you fail, or I may say you have disadvantage. Are you willing to accept this?
Yes.
A little bit of fate trading here?
100%.
All right. You are cursed by the gods temporarily, and you can take an action.
I raise my hands into the air and spin around to the crowd with my boisterous voice. Like, who wants to see him die?
The crowd starts cheering wildly.
Yeah.
As I finish that statement, my eyes land directly on Boomstone, and I give him a big old wink. And I pull out my chainsword above my head and get it up to full speed. And I'm using my other hand to like try to lift up the crowd's sound and get them louder and louder. And as I feel they're at their pinnacle, I come down across his neck with my chainsword, trying to separate his head from his body.
All right. I don't really see how you could miss here.
Agreed.
Agreed.
Aaron, you sure you don't want to have to make a roll here?
I'm positive.
I know you like asking if you should be making some kind of roll in situations like this.
I've learned.
I'm so fucking proud of you.
All right. Your chain sword wraps around his neck. He's glued and unable to move. What do you do?
I point to Boomstone and I say, I'll be seeing you later as you guessed. And I pull hard, the chain tightens, squeezo happens, and his head just popped right off.
The squeeze happens.
Yes. The squeeze-o. I mean, dub.
As his head tumbles to the ground, the other remaining illusory copies fade away. He lays on the ground dead. The crowd is silent for only a few moments before erupting into the greatest cheers so far.
I raise my hands up and I look for my team to come and join me. Come on, guys, we've done it!
I rush out.
Our challengers are victorious.
We link hand in hand. We're all bowing, turning and bowing, accepting our praise.
And then we all do a cartwheel together.
The Thrasher fucks his up.
What an incredible show. Who would have expected? These newcomers, Booger Toot, Glub Grub, Squeezo, and Wart Snout would make such a strong impression on their first showing. It's been some time since we've seen the champion of the Colosseum. Prepare yourselves.
And the ground rumbles.
Wait, what? I thought that was it.
We're the champions now, right?
I did prepare myself, but the TM said I could do whatever while I was waiting.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have done whatever while you're waiting.
I cast several spells.
Did we get a long rest?
You do not get a long rest or a short rest. The ground rumbles.
As the champion approaches, our challengers must be asking themselves, are they ready? Can they handle another fight?
Oh, this is going to be something stupid.
Haven't they seen enough?
That's why I did all the spells.
And the ground rumbles as whatever it is approaches with each step. Are you guys doing anything to prepare yourself?
Yeah, I did a bunch of stuff. I said that. You want me to tell you what I did?
Everyone should tell me what they did.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. I cast Cure Wounds on myself. I drank a greater healing potion.
Mm-hmm.
Spiritual shield. Shield something.
Shield of Faith?
Shield of Faith, thank you. Cast that on myself, and I'm raging it.
Okay.
I drink 2 greater healing potions, healing me for 32 total. I cast Aria of Suspense on my entire party, which means they cannot be surprised. Gain a bonus on saving throws against traps and environmental hazards. And I'm taking in all the adoration.
I crack 15 knuckles.
There's so much adoration to take.
Oof.
Ladies and gentlemen, hold tight onto your seats and put on your ponchos because blood is about to be raining down across the bone pit. For emerging from the shadowed gates is a beast unlike any seen before. A terror from ancient skies and the stuff of darkest legend. Behold, this monstrous avian colossus, with talons as long as daggers, gleaming and sharpened to rip through anything foolish enough to stand in her path. Her wings spread wide, each feather dipped in iron, bound in plate of dark arcane forged armor that clanks and shimmers with every powerful beat, making her a fortress in the air and a storm upon the earth. This creature pulses with ancient magics.
He's talking with a rhythm where the ground shakes with each sentence.
Her eyes cackle with fiery malice, her very presence warping the light around her. Forged by forces that turned her into a weapon of destruction, she fed upon the very wild magic that surges through the goblin kingdoms. The goblins gasp.
This doesn't sound good.
As she descends, even the boldest among you will feel her cold, predatory gaze. As the creature steps forth, the bone pit falls silent. Known across the land, feared in whispered tales. Here she is, in the flesh, the Harbinger. Deathbeak!
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. We don't have to fight her at least.
And that's a pause on today's brawl, folks. You've survived another chaotic, bone-crunching episode of Discount Heroes, where Glub Grub Squeezo Booger Toot and the one and only Warts now take on whatever the wild worlds of the Goblin Kingdoms throws at them, be it monsters, mayhems, and more. Don't forget, you can catch the next round of this heroic madness every Thursday. And if you're itching to talk to the host or join the rowdiest crowd this side of the bone pit, head on over to our Discord channel. They'll be waiting to hear from you with their knife in hand. And if you want the links to our latest social shenanigans, stunt sneak peeks, mosey over to the linktr.com mosey over to linktr.com/thedhcast and follow along if you fucking dare. I know you've probably pissed and shit in your seats by now, so I'll go ahead and stop. Until next week, keep your shorts sharp, your laughs loud. Remember, listen to the Discount Heroes, where questionable results are always guaranteed.
Everyone come in 3, 2, 1.
Yeah.
Gross. I'm really upset that that's recorded and will now end up at the end of the episode.
I don't know if it will.
I would prefer it doesn't, but I'm not hardline on that one. It shouldn't though.